Hello, YouTube. Oh, my arm is killing me today. Oh, hello, YouTube. How we doing? All right. Instagram, go live. There we go. Substack. All right. There's Substack. Bam. All righty. There is Substack. Still up. There's one Substack. There we go. Terry and Tanya and Farah. Let's go through you. Farah, whichever. All right, guys. Hello. I didn't realize we could do hearts on Substack. I'm seeing the little hearts. I don't remember seeing them before. I must be very spacey. Anyway, hello, guys. There we go. All righty. Hello, Tanya. All right, next up, TikTok. Although I'm ready for TikTok today, too. So I've been going early the last couple of days, early for me. So we'll have to see about that. I don't want to get you all too accustomed to this. There we go. All right. Woo-woo. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome. Is that good? That's good enough. Yep. Down a little. That's good enough. Welcome, everybody. Hello. TikTok, YouTube, Substack, Discord. How are we all doing this evening? It is exactly. And today is Vishivanka Day, as you may know, the one day a year to celebrate Ukrainian culture, specifically the Vishivanka, which is the shirt I'm wearing, which is a traditional Ukrainian shirt. This is a very cool one I got from Ukraine. Vlad got. I like it because it's kind of nylon. It's like a little more form-fitted. And this is fabulous. I mean, the design on the neck stuff, it makes me think of like Native American beads. You know what I mean? Just the detail work. It really does kind of. I look at this and I think of like when we were kids, the Native American, you would go out west and we'd get all the little woven beads and stuff. It just kind of reminds me of that. It's very cool. So anyway, happy Vishivanka Day to those who celebrate. Anyway, hello guys. How are we doing this evening? Seed beads? I don't know. Is that what they call them? You know what I mean? Like all the Native American, at least when we were kids, I'm sure they still make them, but all the touristy stuff we used to buy. Hello, Sven in Norway. Anyway, welcome guys. How are we doing today? Happy Thursday. Woo. Keep in mind, since it's Thursday, I remind you, Saturday morning is the coffee talk that we do. So it's our hangout we do I'm going to adjust my camera here a little bit. There we go. So it's kind of in the middle. Well, it's not quite the middle of my screen, is it? Not quite. But we do our hangout every Saturday morning at 11 a.m., almost every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time US for our paid monthly, our paid monthly subscribers. So join me for that, if you will. 11 o'clock Saturday morning. That's for the folks who are the monthly subscribers on TikTok. Those are the super fans. YouTube members, I think we call them. Substack and Discord, you guys know who you are. The monthly supporters. So join us if you will. And guys, I'm ready to get rolling here. So let's start with Iran. Then we've got a lot of weird, horrible Washington news because that's kind of where we live nowadays, sadly. You'll be there on Saturday. Excellent. That's kind of where we are. But Iran first, a lot of weird Iran stuff this weekend. Okay. Remember, I mean, he's such a liar. He's just such a liar. 4 days ago, Sunday, Donald Trump, we're going to bomb Iran. They have one last chance. If they don't cave and agree to all of our demands, we're bombing them. And then Monday, I've decided to call off the bombing. And I just started laughing. I'm like, I'm sorry. If I'm Iran, I'm not scared of this man. They shouldn't be scared. He's a liar. He bluffs, and he's a very bad bluffer. So Trump said, we're calling off the bombing because Iran is about to agree to everything. And of course, we all said, you're lying. Right? I mean, we talked about this on Monday. It was like, he's such a liar. Well, Iran put out the statement today via Reuters. Iran's supreme leader has issued a directive that the country's near weapons-grade uranium should not be sent abroad, two senior Iranian officials said, hardening Tehran's stance on one of the main U.S. demands at peace talks. So actually, Iran moved backwards in the negotiations. They got worse this week. When Trump claimed, again, totally lying, and honestly, maybe he bought some stock or something, with him, but totally lied about it again on Monday. Things are worse now with Iran than they were before. And Trump claimed yet again on Monday, it's about to be resolved. And again, the problem again Big problem that Trump is a pathological liar. It does not help. Thank you, Uncle Cree. Go, Uncle Creepy, even funnier. It said Uncle Cree at the top. Uncle Creepy, that's even funnier. Thank you for that. It's not good having a president who's a pathological liar. No president in American history has lied like Donald Trump. Republicans don't lie like this. Democrats don't lie like this. This is, unprecedented. Thank you, Ashley. You don't need to buy me gifts, but thank you. But it's also really bad because we're at war. We'd like to stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons, even though the guy currently trying to do it is an idiot. But we'd like to stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons. It doesn't help to have a president who is clearly a liar, so that every time he threatens Iran, who cares? Stephen Miller, I think it was Stephen Miller, who's the top wannabe German at the White House, and said something about, oh boy, if Iran doesn't agree to our terms fast, we are going to bomb them like you've never seen before. And those of us who follow Ukraine and Russia will know what I'm going to say on this one, which is, you mean we've been at war with Iran for almost 3 months now, and we have not hit them with everything we've got? Really? Like, we've been holding back? We lost 13 service members. Why the hell are we holding back? Right? I mean, we haven't actually hit them as hard as we can hit them. I'm not talking nukes because we can't use nukes, of course. But with conventional weapons, we could have hit Iran harder, but we've chosen not to. This is like Russia. The Russians will always do this. The Russians always go, oh, if Ukraine isn't careful, we're going to hit them harder than they've ever been hit. And I always go, you're 4 years into a war. You've lost, 1.3 million casualties, possibly 600,000 plus, or if not more Russians, maybe even 1 million Russians have died from this war. And you haven't hit Ukraine hard yet. You've had the ability to hit Ukraine harder, but you haven't. You instead just let your soldiers die. And you've turned into a Vietnam style stalemate where you're stuck because you've simply chosen not to hit them harder. I mean, it's again, he's lying. He's lying. We have already hit Iran hard. And guess what? Iran didn't cave. Trump is now lying and he's bluffing, and he's a very bad bluffer. I am not spilling state secrets here, right? I'm basing this on reading the public press, reading the facts that are in the paper, and it is clear that Donald Trump is lying. And this is very bad. This is very bad with this war, because the problem is, if I were Iran, I would just sit back and go, okay, you do what you want to do. I don't care, right? And that's what exactly what Iran is doing. So anyway, we find out today Iran is now tightening or making its hardening its positions. Trump made just a classic idiotic Trump statement about Iran today. I'm going to show you. I've got a couple different videos. I need to find the right one. Let's see. I don't know if this is the one.
Total control of.
Here we go. Trump starts by saying, because it cuts off a little, saying, we have total control of the Strait of Hormuz. And then he says, and we don't.
We have total control of the Strait of Hormuz, as you know, with our blockade. The blockade's been 100% effective. Nobody's been able to get to it.
How do you want things to end up with the Strait of Hormuz, though? Would you like them to have?
Well, we want it open. We want it free. We don't want tolls. It's international. It's an international waterway. They're not charging toll. We have total control.
We have total control of the Strait of Hormuz.
With our blockade. The blockade's been 100% effective. Nobody's been able to get to it.
How do you want things to end up with the Strait of Hormuz, though? Would you like them to have?
Well, we want it open.
We want it open.
We want it free.
We want it free. We don't want tolls. We have total control, but it's not open, and we want it open. Our blockade has shut it, right? We have total control. We've got a blockade, but we want it open, and Iran better open it. But how can Iran open it if we're in total control? Doesn't it mean we closed it? By the way, he's claimed before that we closed it. He goes, oh, no, we closed it. No, we didn't close it. Iran closed it. We closed traffic in and out of Iran. Boat traffic going into Iran can no longer go there, which is probably a good idea considering we're at a war. But it's just the bullshit just kind of spews with this guy. You know what I mean? We have total control over the Strait of Hormuz and Iran. Again, the same thing with the Europeans, right? We don't need the Europeans' help, but they better help us. Why are you in such a panic about getting Europe's help to reopen the Strait of Hormuz if you're in total control and you don't need Europe's help? Then why are you upset about it? At one point, thank you, Mel, for the May gift. At one point, Trump actually claimed it was the principle. In principle, he wanted Europe to come. And then he also claimed at a different time that he didn't actually want Europe to help. He was testing Europe. He demanded Europe help. And once the Europeans said yes, he was going to say, I don't need you. It was just a test. Yeah, sure. For not to mention, you were gonna ask the Europeans to go to war with you, and once they declared they were part of the war, you were gonna say, "Just kidding, psych, psych." I mean, he's just pathetic. There's much more here. Hang on. Bloomberg. Oh, here we go. Bloomberg reports that Iran is discussing with Oman. By the way, Oman is like our ally, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Iran is discussing with Oman how to set up some form of a permanent toll system that will formalize its control over the Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz was open before. It was free to everybody. The entire world could pass through it. Trump decided to invade Iran, and Iran said, screw you, and they shut it down. That's why our gasoline prices have jumped 50%. Diesel fuel's through the roof, which is going to affect all of our prices. We're already starting to see a spike in inflation. It's going to get much worse here in America. And Trump is, Iran started charging tolls and saying, we're not going to let you come through unless you pay $2 million a ship. It depends on the ship, but it was around $2 million a ship to come through. Trump's now claiming that, again, Trump claims today, we've got total control of the Strait of Hormuz. Then why is it that we now have Bloomberg reporting that Iran is discussing with Oman setting up a permanent toll, charging ships, that Iran is controlling it? Not to mention, how badly has Trump effed this up that Oman, which is a key American ally in the region, is now negotiating with Iran to close down the Strait of Hormuz permanently. So there's a permanent toll. Oman's our ally. What the hell are they doing negotiating with? Well, because Donald Trump screwed them is why Oman doesn't care. Exactly. Not anymore. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Yep. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. We control it. We control it. But Iran better open it. And Iran better not charge tolls, but we control it. Yeah, sure you do. Thank you, Blue. What else we got? More bad Iran news. Iran has been totally obliterated. Their defense has been destroyed. They have no more defense. Except, CNN reports today, quote, Iran has already restarted some of its drone production during the 6-week ceasefire that began in early April. One sign it is rapidly rebuilding certain military capabilities degraded by U.S.-Israeli strikes, according to 2 sources familiar with U.S. intelligence assessments. 4 sources told CNN that U.S. intelligence indicates, thank you, Diana, for that. U.S. intelligence indicates Iran's military is reconstituting much faster than initially estimated. Uh-oh. I mean, I don't mean to laugh because it's not funny, and these are our poor soldiers and our service members who are having to fight these idiots. But this man, I mean, it's not even funny. I laugh because I don't know what else to do with such a blithering idiot running our country. He got us into a war having no idea what was going on. He didn't even know. I mean, this idiot didn't even know that Iran was going to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. I knew it for the last 40 years. We studied it in graduate school. 40 years ago, we studied this stuff. I guarantee you, Trump got briefed repeatedly about the possibility of Iran closing down the Strait of Hormuz. But he's such a blithering idiot and an arrogant ass that he said, no, they won't. Israel tells me they're going to collapse in 3 days. Didn't collapse. Freaking idiot. Speaking of additional corrupt, horrible things, let's move on to the $1.8 billion. So we've got lots of updates today about Trump's little $1.8 billion fund to finance domestic terrorism in the U.S. So you know how Trump, we talked about this the other day, but we're going to keep talking about it because the story keeps getting worse and worse. But Donald Trump and the Republicans are now going to finance domestic terrorism inside the U.S. They want to give domestic terrorists up to around $1.8 billion. Couple of the January 6th terrorists came out today and said they're going for the money. Trump, as you know, has set up a fund illegally. He has no congressional authorization to do it, but he set up an illegal fund to give $1.8 billion with a B, billion dollars of taxpayer money to the people who tried to violently overthrow our government on January 6th and other criminals. Okay? Let me read you what's your Enrique Tarrio. Enrique Tarrio, remember him? The former leader of the Proud Boys? Yeah. Enrique was sentenced to 22 years in prison for seditious conspiracy. Sedition is like trying to overthrow the government, often violently. Seditious conspiracy. He was not there because the judge wouldn't let him go there because of other stuff he'd done, but he was running it behind the scenes. They actually had planned a lot of the January 6th violence. Convicted, 22 years in prison. Trump pardoned him or commuted his sentence, whichever it was, but Enrique is out of prison now. Enrique said today to Reuters, he's estimating that he'll receive between $2 and $5 million of our taxpayer money to thank him for his hard work trying to violently overthrow our government and attacking Congress. Remember, they attacked Congress. They attacked 140 police officers. They wanted to, dog wants more water already. Dog wants water. Let me give her a touch. Thank you for the gift. Who was that with the bubbles, music bubbles? Thank you, Brown Eyed. 1 second. I gave the dog water, but my crazy little old girl. All right, you. All right. So let's start with, I should have said, Proud Boys. Proud Boys is a neo-fascist group. It is a neo-fascist group. Americans know exactly who they are. Horrible, horrible group. And we all knew Trump supported them. Remember the Trump people? Remember that whole thing? Oh, it's such a lie to say that Donald Trump supported all the Proud Boys and all the white supremacists in Charlottesville. It's such a lie. He doesn't support them. Enrique thinks he's getting $2 to $5 million. Another January 6er, another of the people who was part of this mob to violently overthrow our government on January 6th, told CNN today he's seeking $30 million of our taxpayer money from Trump's fund he set up. $30 million. Oh, but it gets better. Mike Lindell. Remember Mike Lindell? Mike Lindell's the MyPillow guy. He got into a lot of trouble for pushing election lies. He was basically defaming a private company over the elections. He's seeking $400 million. He suggested today. He said, I lost $400 million in the context of what he's going to be seeking. Folks, people need to be furious. People need to speak up. People need to go to these members of Congress and get in their face and tell them how freaking dare you exercise your constitutional rights and tell them how freaking dare you Republicans give. Mike Lindell is getting $400 million, or he wants. A January 6er wants $30 million. A guy convicted of 22 years in prison for seditious conspiracy to violently overthrow our government is seeking $2 to $5 million of taxpayer money. The best part, Tarrio is the best. Tarrio, the Proud Boy leader. This was great. He goes, it's so unfair. Do you know, I have friends who lost their jobs while they were in prison. They lost their jobs. They need to be compensated. What did you think was going to happen when you tried to violently overthrow the government? What did you think? Did you think there'd be a parade? Right? Did you think your employer was going to be like, oh, it's okay. I know you tried to violently overthrow the government and you're sentenced to prison for 22 years for seditious conspiracy, but we'd really like you to keep teaching our kids. I mean, but you know what I mean? Like, what did they think, Maxine? What did they think? I mean, the arrogance and I'm not sure, but is it what's the word I'm looking for? It's that word. It's not just arrogance, the sense of entitlement, the sense of privilege and entitlement from these people, right? We lost our jobs. The audacity. We lost our jobs because all we did was try to violently overthrow the government. Democratic Senator Reid to acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche, MAGA activist, straight out of the Soviet playbook. Literally, he runs the Department of Justice like it's the Soviet Interior Ministry. It literally exists to fight the United States Constitution. It exists to take away the civil rights of Americans. That's it. Nothing else. These guys working at DOJ now, they're no better than the Soviets at this point. Or the communist Chinese for that matter. Or the Cubans for that matter, really. Ironic we're trying to overthrow Cuba when literally our government is just as corrupt as theirs is. And the Senator Reid to acting Attorney General Todd Blanche today. Senator Reid, you're the nation's top law enforcement official. Would you be okay? Oh, thank you, Gene. Oh, very nice. I had to interrupt for that. Oh, Gene, that's a crazy cool gift. We're still hoping the World Cup gets canceled, but that's a very cool. That was a cool World Cup gift. Thank you for that. Democratic Senator Reid to acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. Reid, you're the nation's top law enforcement official. Would you be okay with people who were convicted of hurting police getting taxpayer money? Blanche, just to be clear, people who hurt police get money all the time. I've got that video. We're playing. I got to keep an eye on the dog, as you know, because my dog likes to. Lately, she's been going out and just eating bamboo, and it's really annoying me. Hang on, see if I've got the. Where is my video? I just grabbed the video, but now I'm thinking maybe I didn't grab the video. Let me look really quick. I just watched it, but I may not have downloaded it. Shoot. Oh, here it is. Oh, not Senator Reid. Paula Reid. I'm calling it Senator Reid. Paula Reid. Paula Reid of CBS. I'm totally spacing. I'm like Senator Reid. Okay, come on. Up. Hey, come on. Hey, come on. Thank you. Up. There you go. The dog's losing her hearing, but if I make these loud, sharp noises, she still can hear me. And she has a hard time seeing the door. I've got a screen in front of it, and she thinks the screen is the window. So if we're teaching each other that if I make that sound, she knows it kind of means you can go ahead. So then she knows to push through. My dog is like a crazy smart dog. Anyway, all right, here he is. Here he is talking about the fund and how lots of people hurt cops and get money from the federal government.
You're the nation's top law enforcement official right now. Would you be okay with people who were convicted of hurting police getting taxpayer money?
Just to be clear, people that hurt police get money all the time. Okay, there's a process.
Look at her face.
Where if you believe you have your rights violated, you can apply for funds, you can sue, you can file a claim, you can go to court. In some of those cases, the state, the government, the federal government settles those cases. It's abhorrent to ever touch a law enforcement officer, which is why anytime anybody does that, and it's a federal officer, we'll prosecute them. But that's a completely different question.
Well, except we pardon them too.
Apply for a claim, whether they'll get it.
See, listen, did you hear that? Oh, people assault the police all the time and get money from the federal government. No, they don't. And by the way, to even suggest, and he suggests it again, he's the attorney general defending it. Also, because their rights were violated. I'd love these guys to explain to me. Somebody ought to say, take 5 minutes, Mr. Attorney General, and tell us how the domestic terrorists, the white supremacist neo-fascists, had their rights taken away from them because we arrested them, prosecuted them, and convicted them for trying to violently overthrow our government. Why don't you just take 5 minutes, because we're happy to show it to all the American people, where you explain how that's not a good thing, what we did to them, how that's a bad thing. Because what he's suggesting is it was okay to try to overthrow the government. These guys are still going back to the bullshit. Dog. Oh, Sasha, come on. These guys are still, oh, that's crazy. Thank you for that. That was very cool, Enigma. These guys are still going back to the bullshit now of it was like they were tourists. They were just tourists. Why were they arrested? Why were they convicted? They just walked in and were looking around. Yeah, just looking around, crushing police in doorways. Somebody had a see if I can find the cartoon. I put a cartoon on Facebook. Here we go. This guy Goris did this cartoon, which I thought was freaking brilliant the other day for Trump's new fund. Was your flagpole damaged from beating a police officer on January 6th? You may be entitled to compensation. I thought that was freaking, it reads like one of the TV commercials we have here in America pushing lawyers. But I think it's freaking brilliant. Was your flagpole damaged from beating a police officer? You may be entitled to compensation. It's like, my flagpole was hurt when I beat the cop. They literally used the U.S. flag to beat police. I mean, it doesn't, by the way, again, I don't want to knock Democrats because people knock Democrats way too much, but my God, what storyline do you need the Republicans to give you? Oh, hello. Thank you, Cricket. That's very funny. Thank you. what storyline do you need the Republicans to give you in order to beat them? Like, they literally took the American flag and beat police officers with the American flag. I mean, like, what additional imagery do you need to beat these guys? Don't use the word beat again, to destroy these people, right? I mean, to bring them down. It's just, but again, they lie. Their side lies and they get away with it. You know, anyway. What else we got? CNN reports Republicans are uneasy with the January 6th money and the ballroom. On the ballroom, Republican Representative Fitzpatrick, half the country is living paycheck to paycheck. We shouldn't be talking about ballrooms. On January 6ers, on the insurrectionists getting money, Republican Representative Mike Lawler, quote, the idea that there's a fund for it, I don't support that. Republican Senator Tillis, I've got his video actually. Let me pull up the Tillis video. He's great. Thom Tillis, he's unfortunately not running again. Very conservative Republican, but does not put up with bullshit. Hold on, I grabbed his video and now I'm going to hope that I can find him again. Now I'm here it is. Good.
It's stupid on stilts.
Oh, hold on.
I think it's stupid on stilts.
I think it's stupid on stilts.
Because it will invariably put us in a position where your taxpayer dollars and my taxpayer dollars could potentially compensate someone who assaulted a police officer, admitted their guilt, got convicted, got pardoned, and now we're going to pay them for that? That's absurd. The American people are going to reject this out of hand. When you take money from me to give to a purpose that I vehemently disagree with, that's tyranny, and that's what that account is. I think it's stupid.
That's tyranny. That's tyranny, he called it. Again, we need to be as good as he is at describing it. But I will say this. Thank God Trump is doing this stuff with an election coming up. Trump is trying all he can to get the Republicans run out of town, with pitchforks and torches. I mean, like Frankenstein monster. I mean, this is unbelievable what Trump is doing, that he's trying to give money to actual terrorists out of taxpayer money, that we are suffering through high inflation, fears about our economy. He just refuses to focus on our economy at all. Flies around the world with all of his little trips, flies around the world, gives money. Argentina, if you're Argentine, Trump will give you lots of money. If you're American and not a domestic terrorist, you get no money. You get no support. If you're a domestic terrorist, Trump always finds money for you. If you're a ballroom, Trump finds money for you, right? But for the rest of us, couldn't care less. You should write to your local senator and congressperson. You absolutely should. Democrats, still good to write to. Republicans, way more important. You've got a Republican representative or a Republican senator, you let them have it over this freaking ballroom and over this slush fund to pay terrorists. You let them, I worked for a United States senator and the arch, we're going to talk about the arch in a minute, the arch too. 15 million for Trump's arch. It's going to be 100 million. It is. It's not going to be 15 million for that damn arch. It was 15 million before he wanted it to be bigger and bigger and bigger. But they hate getting yelled at. My senator, oh my God. I worked for a senator. Thank you, Diana. I worked for a senator, and I remember once I was just going to kill him. He was kind of an asshole, but he came to the office once. He goes, I was in the airport in Anchorage and I got yelled at about one of your issues. And I said, well, what issue and what do they say? I don't know. I'm like, well, maybe he didn't have a point. What do you want me to tell you? Right? Somebody yelled at you about one of my issues, right? Like, it depends. What was he right? They hate getting yelled at. They hate being, when I say yelled at, they hate constituents confronting them. Members of Congress hate it. And even calling their office is good. Even better, when they go back home, like they're going back home for Memorial Day, you find out where there's going to be and you let them have it. You go and you give them a piece of your mind. They're going to be Memorial Day. They're going to the parades. You go to the parade too. They have town hall meetings. You go to the town hall. There used to be Herb Kohl, Republican senator or Democratic senator, from Wisconsin. Herb Kohl used to go to the same diner I think it was Saturday. He'd go to the same diner every Saturday and people knew it. And one of the activists told me, she goes, oh yeah, everybody knows Herb Kohl goes to the diner. I said, go to the diner. go and let him know. And she goes, okay. And she brought a bunch of friends and they confronted Herb Kohl. Like, these guys need to hear it. They do not like, because when they hear from an angry constituent, in their mind, there's 1,000 more people just like that they don't hear from, right? And they worry about the election. Anyway, very important. Yes, it does help to weigh in with them. More from Republican Senator Bill Cassidy. Listen to this. People are concerned about paying their mortgage or rent, affording groceries, and paying for gas. Not about putting together a $1.8 billion fund for the president and his allies to pay whomever they wish with no legal precedent or accountability. This is adding to our national debt. If there needs to be a settlement, the administration should bring it to Congress to decide. Again, let's see if they keep doing this. I will say this. The effort to fund the ballroom died again today. It doesn't mean it's dead, but it died again so far. They were going to put it on this reconciliation bill, totally blew up in their faces. Far too many Republicans said there's no freaking way we're going to vote for a reconciliation bill that funds the ballroom when we've got an election coming up. So the good thing is, at least so far, the ballroom is, well, again, it's dead currently. It's not dead, but the effort to fund it just blew up today, which is good news. New York Times' Peter Baker has a big article, but he summarized it in a tweet. I'm going to read you the tweet. I did not see that. The mayor from Arizona, no, I didn't see that, James. New York Times' Peter Baker, quote, "No president has ever used the federal government to advance his own personal interest and those of his family and allies as expansively and openly as Trump has." The Atlantic, what are you doing, dog? The Atlantic reports, oh God, yes. So, okay, we've got, want to go out again? Go out again, but I'm bringing you right back in. As soon as I see you going for bamboo, I'm warning you. The Atlantic reports that, well, again, we're worried about the economy. We're worried about inflation. So what is Trump planning on doing? Trump is planning on doing everything he can to hurt the economy in Democratic states. First of all, he's actually not doing anything to help those of you in Republican states at all. Right? Inflation doesn't care about you. Again, if you're not a trip to China or a foreign dictator, Trump doesn't, or money, Trump does not care about you. Listen to this. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen told travel executives that he's serious about curbing international flights to U.S. airports in cities with sanctuary policies, which could force airlines to reroute and inflict economic pain. They're talking about taking away international air rights to fly into any cities with sanctuary policy. In other words, international flights could no longer go to Chicago, for example. I'm going to guess New York as well. Is New York a sanctuary city? Probably, with Mamdani there, it's got to be. So no more international flights can fly to New York or Chicago. And they don't, Denver, LA, there you go. Denver, LA. Trump wants to shut down international air travel to most of the largest American cities. And he thinks that's not going to hurt the country overall. I mean, guys, again, this is like economic antichrist at this point. I'm saying like the whole antichrist discussion with Trump. This is like economic antichrist. This is like Vladimir Putin. I don't know who could come up with the idea other than Vladimir Putin of let's shut down international air travel to pretty much every major city in America. That'll show them. Really? Really? You're going to kill international tourism. You're going to kill international business. I'm telling you, and by the way, the rest, I've told you, don't come to this country. Do not come to this country. This is just another example. Because by the way, do you want to buy plane tickets to come to Chicago, New York, and everywhere else, New York and LA and San Francisco, just to have Trump cancel them on you? Because that's what's going to happen. I mean, these people. And again, could he focus on inflation? I got to look at the dog again. Dog. All right. Okay, that's enough. Hey, come on in. Oh, over here. Hey. She can't see the door again. Okay. Here, Sasha. Hello. There you go. There's my little blinding girl. Not blind, but blinding. Is there a verb? Blinding? Yeah. Crazy shit. Fox News. New Fox polling shows 58% of respondents say the cost of living is their top economic worry. That's up 8 points from February. And 71% disapprove of the president's performance on the economy. Fox News. 71% of Americans disapprove of what Trump is doing on the economy. Fox News, which is like the Trump station. Is this abuse of power? Of course it is. Yes, it is. New York Times. Oh, this is so. Speaking of abuse of power, good thing you brought up. New York Times on how R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company paid Trump off in order to get him to loosen regulations on vapes. Senator Chris Murphy summarized the article. R.J. Reynolds donates $5 million to Donald Trump. Trump invites RJR executives to Mar-a-Lago. Executives ask Trump to loosen regulations on flavored vapes, which target children. Trump calls up RFK Jr. and tells him to change it. FDA changes the policy. There's a whole long story. I heard about this the other day, but basically, you want to call it bribery, whatever you want to call it. They paid Trump off and Trump changed the policy. This is why the FDA commissioner resigned. This is why the top spokesman at the FDA resigned. Top spokesman of RFK Jr. spokesman resigned because the U.S. government is now in the business of pushing vapes to young children. That's our new policy. Yay! Yay! Are we proud? Are we great yet? Is America getting greater? Trying to hook children on smoking. Yeah, exactly. Because not enough children smoke, according to these guys. What else we got? Trump confirms we have CIA operatives in Cuba. That was great. Washington Post crunched the numbers and found that Trump's use of vulgar language, personal insults, and self-aggrandizing rhetoric has increased markedly in his second term. This is about watching what's happening with his mental state. Daniel Dale fact-checked Trump. Remember the other day Trump was talking about Jesus? And not when Trump said he was Jesus, not when Trump said he was the Pope, but when Trump said that if Jesus counted the votes, he would have won in California in 2020, even though he lost in California in 2020. Daniel Dale fact-checked that comment. Let me read you Trump's quote. If we had Jesus come down and count the votes, I would have won California, but it's a rigged vote. Daniel Dale writes, truly bananas claim President Trump has made on multiple occasions. He lost California by 30 points in 2016, more than 4 million votes. 29 points in 2020, more than 5 million votes. And by 20 points means 20 percentage points. 29 percentage points in 2020. That's insane of a loss, right? And 20 points in 2024, more than 3 million votes. Votes are counted accurately in every state. Again, you kind of have to wonder, how much does the man really respect you if he has to lie about everything? Hey, you're fine. Go lay down. Go lay down. His supporters should really wonder why he has to lie to you. Why does he have to lie about everything, right? What does he think of you? Or what doesn't he think of you? And what does he believe in? Because clearly he can't tell you what he believes in. He always has to lie because for some reason he thinks if he tells the truth, you're not going to like him. You're not going to like him as much if he tells you what his real positions are. So he lies about it. That ought to make you worry about who this guy really is. FIFA, speaking of which, up to 70% of the rooms reserved by FIFA. Thank you, Maxine, for the gift on TikTok. Keep them coming, guys. Up to 70% of the rooms reserved by FIFA International Soccer in Boston, Dallas, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and Seattle have been canceled. The U.S. Hotel Association reported, holy shit. Up to 70% of the rooms reserved for the World Cup soccer match have now been canceled. People aren't coming. Oh, well, again, they shouldn't come. I don't know why the hell anybody would come, but good. Republican, oh God, I don't know if you heard about this one. This Republican congressman has been missing for 75 days now. Congressman Tom Kean of New Jersey has not been seen in over 75 days. He's missed 88 House votes. His neighbors in New Jersey have not seen him. So he's not in Washington. He's not in the Congress. He's not in New Jersey at his home. His family won't say where he is. His staff won't say where he is. And it's been 75 days that this Republican Congressman, Tom Kean, has been missing. This is what is so bad about this town. Oh, hey, Jim. This is, seriously though, but could this guy be dead? This is, hell, I don't know that we've ever yet had, you were on the Hill too, weren't you, Jim? I don't know whether we've ever had a member of Congress who's been dead and nobody knew. They've been very close. Dianne Feinstein was very close. Senator Burdick, when I was there in North Dakota, very close. Trying to remember a few of the other ones. Burdick was the one I remember because he was the Walking Dead when I was there. Strom Thurmond, kind of close. Di-Fi, closer. But I don't know we've ever had anybody actually die and the staff hit it. This guy, I'm kind of wondering if he's alive at this point. And again, there's such a small margin in the House of Representatives. They don't want to tell us. But I mean, the sense of privilege of these guys. You know, they're elected representatives in Congress. This guy clearly can't do his job. You're 5 in the Senate, 2 in the House. Okay, there you go. I thought you were. Right there. I mean, it's yeah. The arch, Trump's arch, got approved today by the commission, his handpicked commission. Surprise! No money's been appropriated. The arch has not been approved by Congress. Trump decided he was going to steal the money from a different federal budget item, which is totally. Kay Granger was in assisted living. I didn't know that. Is that really? That's funny. Trump has decided he's going to take the money to build the arch from the National Endowment for the Humanities, an entirely different bill. Guys, I worked on like appropriations, on money, on making money available for programs. It's illegal. The administration cannot go to some other budget and say, you know, National Endowment for the Humanities, let's steal $15 million from their budget that Congress gave them and build an arch instead in Northern Virginia. You literally can't. But again, if his own people are, I mean, he literally has to steal the money. It's like going into a bank account, somebody else's bank account. It's illegal. He doesn't care. And guess what? His Justice Department, his little, I forget who the hell was. Who was the Interior Ministry guy in the Soviet Union? Who's the name of the guy I'm thinking of? Was it Beria? I'm trying to remember who it was. Like the famous Beria might have been at the beginning with Lenin and Stalin. But I mean, like his own little Beria there at the Ministry of the Interior, Todd Blanche. He's going to investigate Trump for stealing money? No. The FBI, Kash Patel. Kash Patel is going to investigate Trump for stealing money? Right? No. Unless you know, Trump steals money from the liquor cabinet, Kash Patel's not going after it, right? I mean, or from the travel budget, you know. But anyway, what else we got? Oh God, I have like 3 stories at the end here. Trump announced today that he may not be going to his son's wedding. I have to, let me see, is it this one? Hang on. Here we go. You have to hear this. Don Jr. is getting married this weekend, okay? Trump gets asked if he's going to the wedding. This is what I mean, where the family values of these people. We were talking about this the other day, where literally you never see Trump with his grandkids. He's got lots of grandkids. You never see it. You never see Trump at the holidays with his family. You see him at Mar-a-Lago with 500 people for Thanksgiving. You don't see him at an intimate family dinner. When have we ever seen Trump at an intimate family dinner? 11. Gunther says 11 grandkids. 11 grandkids. Where are they? Right? His own kids. Trump's got 5 children, I believe. Where are they? Right? Normal people and politicians do stuff with their family, especially the president, and you're seen, right? Here we go. You know, that's true. I would never let him near the grandkids, but listen to the Trump being asked if he's going to his son Don Jr.'s wedding this weekend.
Your son's wedding this weekend, by the way?
He'd like me to go, but it's going to be just a small little private affair, and I'm going to try and make it. I'm in the midst. I said, you know, this is not good timing for me. I have a thing called Iran and other things. That's one I can't win on. If I do attend, I get killed. If I don't attend, I get killed. By the fake news, of course, I'm talking about. No, but he's got a very person who I've known for a long time, and hopefully they're going to have a great marriage.
Mr. President, actually, to add to that, I just actually passed by.
Wait, I'm going to, hold on. Play it again.
He'd like me to go.
It's
going to be just a small little private affair. And
first, okay, he'd like me to go, but it's just going to be a small private affair. It's not worth your going because it's not going to be a big wedding. It's not worth going to your son's wedding because it's going to be a small private affair. as Robert just said, who skips their kid's wedding? I mean, you're skipping your kid's wedding potentially, and your argument is, oh, it's just going to be a small thing anyway. It's your son's wedding. It isn't contingent on how big the party is as to whether dad shows up.
Try and make it.
Hold on, more.
I'm going to try and make it. I'm in the midst. I said, this is not good timing for me. I have a thing called.
I said, this is not good timing for me. He then goes on to say, I've got this thing called Iran. I'm very busy. Do you remember the first weekend we bombed Iran? I'm pretty sure Trump was at Mar-a-Lago. He was at his resort. I checked online. Trump visited his resorts, from what I found, 16 different times over the last couple of months that we've been in Iran. 16 times. The number of weekends might have been like 8 to 12 weekends that he went away, but then went on also day trips to other resorts. He's been repeatedly. Remember the famous photo that they put up a skiff at Mar-a-Lago? The skiff is like the secure room where radio waves can't enter because you don't want people spying. And it wasn't a secure room. It was the middle of like the restaurant, and they put up curtains. And we were like, and there were people peeking through the curtains. Remember, he was literally at Mar-a-Lago conducting, and they had the picture on the wall of where all the ships were in the Gulf. Remember that? He has gone to his resorts. He's gone golfing, but he says he can't go to his son's wedding because I've got very important. First of all, two things. One, he goes, I've got very important things. I'm fighting a war, You can go golfing while we're fighting a war, but you can't go to your son's wedding. The second thing that he says is they'd rip me to shreds, the fake media, if I went to his wedding. If you're a misanthropic idiot, you might think, and again, this also shows who Trump is, right? Because, yeah, Trump might rip you to shreds if you went to your child's wedding because he's a misanthropic idiot. But no normal human being is going to rip you to shreds successfully because, look at you, we're at war and you decided to go to your child's wedding. Donald Trump could use going to his child's wedding. Like, it would probably be very, very beneficial for Donald Trump. Go to the kid's wedding and pick up your goddamn grandson or granddaughter and hold her in your arms. The best thing I don't want to give him advice, but the best thing Donald Trump could do right now for Donald Trump would be to go to his kid's wedding. By the way, go to a church, hold the wedding in a church, get Donald Trump in a church. Granted, the lightning might strike, you never know. It's like the vampire thing. But go to a church, pick up your granddaughter, right? I mean, like, how about give a toast? How about give a loving toast about the importance of family? Again, I mean, I know there's no way he would do it. But again, only Donald Trump would think, oh yeah, it's really bad optics to go to church to your son's wedding. Like, no, it's really not bad optics to go to church to your son's wedding. It's actually very good optics to do that. What else we got? Ex-gay, this was great. Ex-gay leader Alan Chambers. So the religious right for years, it doesn't really exist anymore, but the religious right for years was pushing. They created, like late 1990s, created this thing called the ex-gays. And they were basically gay people who were either corrupted or co-opted or so desperate that they claimed they were cured of being gay. Hallelujah. And they created these fake organizations. They were all religious right, extreme religious right groups. And they created all these groups like Exodus Internet. You can exodus, like the Leviticus, right? You can exodus for the Bible out of a gay lifestyle. Well, the guy who ran the biggest one called Exodus International, Alan Chambers, was just arrested for trying to meet a 14-year-old boy. Don't want to say the rest of what he was going to do with the 14-year-old boy because YouTube might not like it and TikTok really wouldn't like it, but he wasn't just planning to meet the 14-year-old boy. The cops have him to goods. There was another really famous one, actually. Sasha, come on. There was another really famous one. A very good friend of mine, Wayne Besson. Maybe this was maybe it was early 2000s. Wayne calls me actually my friend Joel calls me like 11 o'clock on a weeknight and says, oh my God, Wayne is at one of the bars downtown, gay bars downtown, and he just saw John Polk. John Polk was this obese ex-gay, flaming, super gay, but ex-gay, who was on the cover of Newsweek. You guys might remember Newsweek had this cover, ex-gays, and it was Polk and his wife, this very butch woman, and Wayne, and they were on the cover of Newsweek, right? Oh, they've cured themselves of being gay by praying and this kind of crap. Wayne is at this bar. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's a sleazy bar, but it's, what was it called? Mr. P's or whatever? I think it was Mr. P's. Anybody who knows Washington, D.C. on DuPont Circle, I've only been there once. I literally checked out the place once. It's kind of dark and woodsy, and it's a little seedy. I don't even know if it's, I don't think it exists anymore. It was a little seedy. 11 o'clock at night, Wayne's there. Who does he see at the bar? John Polk. The ex-gay guy is in the bar undercover thinking no one's going to, I think he's wearing a baseball hat, thinking no one is going to recognize him. Well, I refuse to go. Jill goes, we've got to go. I said, Jill, it's middle of winter. It's freezing. I said, there's no way John Polk is in the bar. Well, Wayne literally goes home, gets his camera, comes back. John Polk is still there. He yells across the ball, John Polk. And of course, the one guy who turns is the ex-gay guy, ex-gay my ass. He goes, Wayne chases him down the street. And as Polk is enormous, running down the street, Wayne is snapping his picture. Well, it was him. It was him. Polk had to resign. I mean, he was gay. He was secretly going to gay clubs in Washington, D.C. HRC, Human Rights Campaign, which was the biggest gay group at the time, was livid because how dare you go to violate how dare their own staffer violate because he worked for HRC, violate the sanctity of a gay bar by bringing a camera and outing someone. And it's like, the ex-gay leader? Really? You thought that was a problem what he did? Like by outing the guy who's actually straight and attacking your community who's on the cover. Remember, Newsweek was a big deal back then, like Time Magazine. Anyway, it was a big story, but God bless Wayne Besson. Wayne did just an amazing job with that. All right. Hey. All right, you. No, keeping an eye on her. She's going to go for my... All right, keeping an eye on her. Lindsey Graham. Yes. All right. The final story. Oh, breaking news from Reuters. Trump flip-flops on Poland again. Remember a couple days ago, the Trump Hegseth said, we're taking 4,000 troops that we were going to give to Poland and we're canceling them. And we all went, why the F are you canceling sending troops to Poland? Poland has been not just a great NATO ally, but Poland, I believe Poland has the highest percentage that they spend on defense in all of NATO. I forget the exact number, it might be 3.9%. It's something crazy. But it's the largest of any NATO ally in terms of the percent of their total economy that they spend. Poland spends a huge amount. Well, Hegseth cancels 4,000 U.S. troops who are supposed to go to Poland. I was going to say 5%, but I wasn't sure if it is 5% or whether that was the goal. Maybe it is 5%. All right, come. Well, Trump announces today. So 4 days ago, Trump kills 4,000 troops supposed to go to Poland. Today, Trump announces 5,000 troops to go to Poland. He's weak. He's confused. He flip-flops. It's back and forth with this guy. So, I mean, it's great that we're sending troops to Poland because we like Poland and also the Russians are awful and we need to have troops there. But like yet again on defense stuff, we've got Trump flip-flopping like crazy, right? Flip-flopping like crazy with the defense stuff because he can't figure out, he can't keep any of his mind straight. Made again, literally canceling the troops to go to Poland and then all of a sudden changing his mind and sending even more to Poland. It's like, okay. All right, so adjusting my camera so I can, there we go. So I can sit back a little bit. There we go. All right. We got a lot. We got 20 minutes. Ow. Anyway, he doesn't know what he's doing. That's the problem, right? Putin called and said, no. Ow, my arm. I got my allergy shot and I had it lower on my arm because up on my arm has been hurting, but it got lower on my arm and got inflamed and it inflamed my elbow. And I've never had that happen before with an allergy shot. I'm like, ow, it really hurts. I'll live, but like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, that's true. Well, it's a good point too. NJ says, you never see Melania holding any of the children either. It's a very good point. You actually don't. Now, Melania's, well, you're right, though, because Melania's grandchildren, well, you know what? They're not, they're not genetically Melania's grandchildren, but give me a break, right? Your husband's kids have kids. It's like puppies, right? You see a cute puppy on the street. I don't care that it's not my puppy. It's a puppy. How do you see your husband's kids, your stepkids' babies, and not just go like, oh my gosh, so cute, unless she doesn't like babies and doesn't like kids, right? And again, same thing with Trump. They're actually his grandkids, supposedly. That's what we're told. Doesn't act like it. Really doesn't act like it, maybe Jim. The thing is, I wonder if Jim says they're both germaphobes and the kids are nothing of Germany. True. The only thing is, I was talking to a friend about this today. We believe Trump is a germaphobe because Trump says he's a germaphobe. The man's a pathological liar. I saw a reporter the other day on Twitter, and I actually tweeted at the reporter and said no, because the reporter wrote, well, Donald Trump's a famous teetotaler, meaning he doesn't drink, because his brother died of alcoholism. I said, no. Donald Trump claims he doesn't drink, and Donald Trump claims his brother died of alcoholism. Unless you've got proof, why would you believe either of those? It's Donald Trump. Again, the man's a pathological liar about everything. I'm really serious about this. Even the germaphobe thing. I can't figure out why Trump would want to put out the lie about being a germaphobe, but it's Donald Trump. Who knows? Maybe it's true, but it's Donald Trump. I don't necessarily believe it. Anyway, Melania coming across as maternal. Yeah. I think Melania cares about Barron. She's, at least from what we hear, but man. Oh man. Anyway. I know Stephen Colbert. That's right. Tonight should be the last episode, right? Of Stephen Colbert. I think it's his last show. It was supposed to be Thursday, and I think it was not last Thursday, but this Thursday, unless I'm wrong, right? We'll have to look. I don't know if I'm going to watch it live, but I'll watch. What is it? Well, it's a late show, right? So it's probably on at 10:30 or whatever. No, 11:30. Sorry, 11. It's tonight. It's 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central. I'm sure, right? So okay, I'm not going to be watching TV at 11. I'll be in bed at 11:30, but I'll watch. We'll watch the. Oh, that's true. I forgot about the bitter apple spray. That's not a terrible idea. I forgot about that. I used to buy that stuff all the time. Maybe I will buy some more to spray my plants, and maybe it'll keep the dog out of the plants. Yeah, because she goes for, she goes for everything, though. It's just like the bamboo, literally these bamboo leaves. And the problem, I pulled one out of her. She had like this much sticking out of her mouth. It was like a snake charmer, because I'm just waiting for her to choke or something, Anyway, thank you. Yeah, so today is Vyshyvanka Day. I'm wearing my Ukrainian Vyshyvanka shirt in honor. It's the national day honoring the Vyshyvanka, and it's actually a very cool one that Vlad got, because it's kind of fitted, which I like. It's like nylon, stretchy, and this is absolutely gorgeous. This thing. So anyway, oh boy, oh you're cute. I'm reading Adelbridge. I'm reading your note, and I didn't realize you had it in English. And I'm going 3 day. I'm going, Jim. What's it? Vyshyvanki. There we go. That's funny. I was reading it in English first. I'm like, okay, I can read this in Russian, and then I didn't read. But Vyshyvanka is I'm going to go with shirt of this style, Ukrainian. Tends to be male. I don't know if you would call the woman's version of Vyshyvanka. I think you do. The women's version that has red flowers and stuff on them. I think you'd call her Vyshyvanka. I know you're Ukrainian. I was thinking Russian, but Ukrainian. But this is this style. This is a little kind of a different because of the cut. But the style with this is the Vyshyvanka. It's a very traditional Ukrainian design. And you will see the shirts with this design, 2 little tassels hanging, and they're called Vyshyvankas. But it's a very, very, very traditional Ukrainian, very pretty, but a very traditional Ukrainian design. So anyway, Yeah, it's very pretty. Anyway, this was really, but Vlad got these. It was very pretty. Oh, it's drizzling now. Look out. The rain's coming. The rain is coming. All right, you. Anyway, it's embroidered. Oh yeah, it's embroidered. Oh yeah. No, because Vlad, these I think are the ones, let me open this up, that Vlad got. Oops. Somehow I got it tangled on itself. Help me. It's not tangled, but if you look at the inside, yeah, it's embroidered. It's really cool. Like, it's not glued on. It's where are my glasses here? Yep, it better be. It better not be glued on. No, this isn't glue. This is embroidery. Yeah, I don't think I'm now. You got me worrying. Could this be glued on? Actually, it could be glued on because of the kind of shirt. Maybe this isn't, or is this embroidered and then glued? I'm wondering if it's embroidered on this, and then it might be embroidered because of the nature of the shirt. I suspect that's what's going on, because the nature of the shirt, it's or embroider or crochet, and then they had to apply it because the shirt is one of those like stretchy nylon shirts. What do you call those? Those polyester shirts that kind of stretch. So typically this would be embroidered. Yeah, this is not some fake. I very much doubt this is some fake thing, because Vlad got them. I think this one might be from the same place in the villages in the mountains. It might be. Then maybe the backing. Okay, then maybe this is how they do it with the backing. Okay. Anyway, I don't know what you call it. But it's very cool. But it's from Ukraine. Yep. Oh, Jesus. Rubio announces arrest of top Cuban military official's sister. Oh, God. Yeah, I know. I mean, I know nothing about this stuff either, James. So, yeah. Anyway, elastine, exactly. It's the stretchy stuff. But it's nice because it means it fits really well. It's a very nice, it's also loose, so it's not actually tight, because I don't like tight clothes. I find them even this, it's a little uncomfortable on my neck. I don't like that feeling, but it's very loose fitting, which is nice. So I don't know. I can pull it. Isn't bamboo poisonous? I don't know. I hope not. Yeah, you got me worrying about that. I don't think so, but let me pull this up and see. Cuba arrest. Let's look at that. Cuba arrest. Let's see. Yep. U.S. HSI arrests sister of corrupt official profiteering from Cuban military-controlled, or what kind of a press release is this? ICE HSI arrests sister of corrupt official profiteering from Cuban military-controlled organization. Huh? The U.S. Department of State revoked her lawful permanent resident status? What? Responsible for managing Geis's internationally held illicit assets. Oh, okay. The organization's revenues were funneled to hidden overseas bank accounts. Entered the U.S. as a lawful permanent resident. This government has not identified or indicating that she has filed for net. This is a really bad press release. I can't understand the press release. So I cannot understand the press release. So can't tell you what it's about, because it wasn't written by a normal human being. So there you go. Exactly. Oh, interesting. Oh God, that's scary. So true bamboo is safe, but these other fake bamboos are dangerous. Who the hell knows which one it is? Who the hell knows? I don't know which one it is. You kidding? Who the hell knows? Yeah, heavenly bamboo and lucky bamboo. Oh. I mean, she's been eating this stuff and surviving, so who the hell knows? But oh no, that's not. That's clearly not what it is. Okay. Well, that's not what it is. I mean, I can tell that just looking at this. It's not this stuff. Yeah, I have real bamboo. This is not This is not the stuff I've got. Anyway, we're just checking. Lucky Bamboo. Let's see. Sasha, I don't want you out there again. No, you've gone out there enough. Stop it. Oh, Lucky Bamboo is the Lucky Bamboo are the little things people, the little cuttings people put in water. Remember? They have those little cuttings, those little branches, and they stand them in water and they get little shoots out of them. That's Lucky Bamboo. Okay. No. Mine's actual bamboo. It's one of those bamboo plants that doesn't get tall but gets bushy. It's literal bamboo. I still don't like her eating it, to be honest. That's true. Visual intelligence. Yeah. That's true. That's true. I mean, she's 16 and 4 months. It could be anything making her eat all this stuff at this point. You know, she's a little eating machine now. I feed her right afterwards. She goes and she eats crap. It's just, unfortunately, you know, she's 16. Like, she's an old lady who wants to eat. It's like, all right. I don't want her to, but what do you do? Yeah, this stuff is real bamboo. Yeah. So that's good to eat. Well, that's true. Pandas eat it. That's true. Now, well, actually, but it depends, because some of the things that dogs eat, right? Dogs, onions will kill a dog. Chocolate will kill a dog. I'm trying to some of the other things, right? Grapes will kill a dog, because there's certain chemicals that either they can't digest and we can, or whatever. So just because another animal can eat it, garlic, just because another animal can eat it doesn't mean it's okay. You know? Yeah, bamboo roots take over. I have a balcony, so they're not taking over my balcony. I've got it in a pot. It only takes over the pot. You know, yeah, xylitol, exactly. Xylitol is really, well, raisins because they're grapes. Xylitol, very bad. But onion, my God, onion, I found it because my mom's dog had eaten onion. Poor little Kukla ate sauteed onion. Half an onion will kill a 10-pound dog. Half an onion. And the problem is, imagine a sauteed onion, right? A sauteed onion is going to collapse into nothing, right? I mean, you saute an onion. So an onion that's been really sauteed, a small dog could eat that like that. Half an onion will kill them. And the vet thought Kukla was gone. I mean, she had eaten it, and he said at that point, because it was too late by the time we brought her in, hey, what are you doing? Too late by the time we brought her in. And he said, I think we did the blood test. Her I forget what do you call it? Red blood cells is 15% of what they should have been. And he said, he said, you can give her iron. We can give her iron supplements. I think he gave her a steroid injection and iron supplements. And he goes, at this point, I don't think she's going to make it, but you can try. And she lived another 5 or 6 months. And who knows at that point, whether it was the onions that killed her or what. I mean, she was also 15 and a half, which, is a full life for a dog anyway. So who knows, but what are you doing? I don't even know where you are. What are you doing? Wait. Sasha, what did you do, you goof? What are you doing? Jeez, she squeezed. You're crazy. Oh, God. I've got a litter box for her that she uses when it's raining and doesn't want to go out and stuff. I've got a litter box for her, and she squeezed between the litter box and the planter, and she couldn't get out. She was trying to back up, but she was like trapped. I was like, where are you? She's whining because she's trapped between the litter box and I was like, oh God, Jesus. That's called getting old. That is like absolutely, that is called in a dog. That's a sign of getting old. Yes. What do you do? But I was like, you poor thing. God. Oh my God. Yeah, it was one because she was whining and I couldn't see her. And I look and there's literally a bit of her butt sticking out and she's stuck between the litter box and the planter. I'm like, oh, poor thing. Well, I think because she got just enough that her butt couldn't get through, but everything else, so that it made her feel like she couldn't get out. You poor thing. I know, you poor thing. Anyway, cod liver oil. What would I give her that for? Dental floss. Oh God. Yeah. That would be terrible. Yeah. Well, and that's the problem too. She's 16 and something. I don't want her eating something where the vet goes, well, you could have surgery to save her, surgery for $3,000 and the surgery might kill her because she's 16 and has a heart murmur, You know, it's like, I'd rather not have to have that discussion, you know, rather just not have the dog eat horrific things in the yard. So, you know, oh man. Anyway, now that's a good point. JTA said maybe the press release was written by AI. Maybe, but I would think AI would do a better job. Like, to me, when I read stuff written by AI, it can be fluffy. It's usually not thick and complicated. It's usually too fluffy. The Justice Department press release, it's a very poorly written press release. I mean, as I said, I couldn't get to the point. I'm like, you're confusing me as to who this. Now, honestly, that press release, hold on. I'm gonna show you, because I love AI, to be honest. I mean, AI, they may take over the world, they may kill us all, I know. But where is this? I'm trying to find, let me see if I can find the press release. Oh, here we go. Cuba arrest. Okay. Let me do this. I'm going to print this page. Print, here we go. All right. Open the page, copy it. You know, there's a trick for using your iPhone or your iPad to create PDFs of anything you're looking at. You print it and you push the print button, and when it opens the preview in the print and it shows you the little pages, you touch it and you go expand. You use your finger, you know how you expand with your fingers? You expand on the little images of the printout and it opens them up. I'm going to show you. And then you save it. Here, let me show you actually. Let me show you. So this is something I'd read a while ago. This is an article in Chrome, right? I go to the top to print. I go zoom, print. It opens it up, print preview, no printer selected. And then the preview, although it's not previewing right now, but it should be showing. Why isn't it showing my preview? Hold on, let's try it again. There we go. Now it's showing the preview of the pages there, right? These are the pages. Watch this. I'm going to take it and expand. It now opens up a PDF. This is a PDF of that web page. You now can take this PDF and send it to somebody. I'm going to take it and hit copy. And now I'm going to go to ChatGPT and put it in there. It's really cool. You can use it for news articles if you're occasionally trying to send news articles to people, but it's behind a firewall and you've got the firewall. It's really, no, this was something I read years ago and I went, get out. You can do it on your phone too, correct? Very cool. Hold on. I'm going to do something here. Hold on. I just gave you a PDF of a press release from Homeland Security. I find the press release to be thick and hard to understand. I want you to rewrite it for me as a press release. I want you to rewrite the title. I want you to rewrite the first paragraph and make it into English that a normal human being would understand, because I can't understand the title or it. So rewrite it and at least give me the headline and the first couple paragraphs. I want to read it to people and show how it should have been written. And again, make it clear. Let's see I want to see what ChatGPT does with the press release. You know, actually, this is really funny already. Hold on. I'm going to open this up. Where's the, all right. Remember, I'm going to read you a little of the article again, the press release. Okay. Here's the press release that Homeland Security wrote. ICE HSI arrests sister of corrupt official profiteering from Cuban military controlled organization. Miami, ICE Homeland Security investigations arrested Adis Lastra Morera, a deportable lawful permanent resident whose presence poses a threat to the United States and undermines American foreign policy interests on May 22nd. Adis Lastras Morera's sister, Ania Guillermo Lastras Morera, is the executive president of Grupo de Administración or GAISA, a corrupt organization that has a stranglehold on 70% of the Cuban economy. ChatGPT, ICE arrests sister of top Cuban military business official. Says her U.S. residency threatened American foreign policy. Okay. Miami. Federal immigration agents arrested Adis Lastra Morera, a Cuban lawful permanent resident living in Miami, after the State Department determined that her presence in the U.S. posed serious foreign policy concerns. Okay. ICE says Lastras Morera is the sister of Ania Guillermo Bump, a senior executive at GAISA, the Cuban military-controlled business conglomerate that U.S. officials say dominates much of Cuba's economy and helps enrich regime insiders. Third paragraph. The State Department revoked her lawful permanent resident status on May 20th. ICE says she is now in custody while the government seeks to remove her from the U.S. Okay, that I can understand. Now, I might tell it and say, okay, but explain a little more of what she did wrong, right? But that's why I'm saying I don't believe AI did their press release. If AI did the press release, it's going to be clearer. And if anything, it might be too simple sometimes with AI. It'll get things wrong, but also I think it's too simple sometimes. I don't think it's the language isn't usually convoluted like that stranglehold on the economy. That's some idiot child MAGA activist who wrote, she's got a stranglehold on the Cuban economy. It's a word, and it's an activist word. It's stupid, you know? It helped me with my citizenship, but I don't know whether in the end it mattered because they didn't want all the AI stuff I used. They didn't want, but yeah, it did. No, that's not true. It helped me with my essay. It wrote my essay in Greek. I wrote the essay in English and I used ChatGPT to write it in Greek, and it did a very good job. That is true. Anyway, so yes. And again, and that is another example of why I like AI, you know? Doesn't AI use, people say that AI, I like dashes too, though. The AI uses dashes a lot. I don't know. I read that, although I don't know if it was the kind of dash or whatever. I like dashes, actually. Like, I don't really like semicolons. I don't love. Colons aren't bad. Dashes, my favorite. I love dashes. For example, even that sentence, like I would say, dash is my favorite, dash, dash. I love dashes. That's how I would use it. Now, I don't know whether you could use a colon there or a semicolon, but I don't really understand how to use semicolons and colons very well. I don't like them. Whereas I can, but dashes I think are multi-purpose for my tastes. You know, I used to like semicolons a lot because it was kind of like, I'm trying to remember. I can't try to remember if a semicolon was a restatement of the thing before. You know, whereas like a colon is boom, I'm going to say something and then boom. A semicolon is I said it and I'm going to say it again. From what I recall, they're related. You know, well, you could use a comma too, obviously, if the sentences are related. But yeah. AI uses bullet points. Oh, that's interesting. Oxford comma, very important. I agree on that, of course. Auto insurance, that's cute. But yeah, no, I've when I research my semicolons, I will then start using them more. Use a semicolon when the second part can be its own sentence. Yes, but colons work that way too. Colons, absolutely. I remember when I was writing for The Economist, one of the things they taught me was, which I didn't really know until I was writing for them. After a colon, people often think you don't capitalize. This is now The Economist style. After a colon, if the fragment can stand on its own as a sentence, you capitalize. If it cannot stand on its own as a sentence, it's a small letter. And I was like, that was like blew my mind. I was like, oh my God. And I still remember that to this day because I was like, that's really cool. I never knew that. So for colons, at least, it can stand on its own as a sentence, but it would be capitalized. At least according to The Economist. Maybe, you know, we may do it differently here in America too. Very interesting though. Oh my God, I hear you, dog. I know. All right, guys, I think we're going to call it quits. We're at 7:19 now that we've had our grammar lesson of the day. Yeah, and it was it blew. I said it stuck in my head because I was like, get out of here. I mean, because, you know, they would correct things to make it more British, like the spelling. It did start to mess with my spelling after a while because I was like, oh God, you know, but I liked writing for them. I liked the writing style. It was a fun way of writing because you had to be very smart, a little whimsical. The end of the article, I actually reverse engineered the article. I read a bunch of I used to read them anyway, but I read a bunch of their articles to learn how to write for them. And the articles will often, you know, there's fact, kind of denouement, and then twist, like elucidating twist at the end, where it would kind of come to a conclusion and also go, huh. And you'd go, oh my God, that's interesting. That's how they like to write. I loved writing like that. But any case, Strunk and White. I've still got my Strunk and White. I do. Anyway. All right, guys, I'm going to call it quits at 7:20. Thank you for joining me tonight and my sidekick, my bamboo eating sidekick. Happy Vishivanka Day to all who celebrate. Yay. And I will be back tomorrow with more. Saturday morning, remember, is our coffee talk hangout that I do for all the monthly subscribers. So join me. TikTok, YouTube, Substack, Discord. We'll be on all 4 of those Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to go and give my dog a treat so she stops whining, at least for the moment. And otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Eastern, all right? I know the sidekick. She's my sidekick. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. All right, I'm coming, dog. All right, Discord, starting with you. Bye, Discord. Oh, my God. I know. She wants her treat, damn it. All right, YouTube and Substack. Bye, guys. Burp.